So we got an envelope here that should reveal if we're having a boy or girl. We're not doing a gender reveal this time. I think it's a boy.
I believe that's a girl, another Layla.
Layla, what do you think, boy or girl?
Layla, you think it's a boy or a girl?
She said, I don't know. Layla, is it a boy or girl?
No.
Okay, sorry.
Mommy, I know.
Okay, it's okay. We're gonna know right now. Are you ready?
Okay, let's open
to open this envelope. Layla, you ready?
Ready?
Oh man, I'm scared.
Ready?
I'm really scared.
Ready?
I didn't want to know the gender till the end.
My daddy? My daddy.
Let's do a countdown. Hey, sit down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
She probably lying.
Wallahi, I knew it.
She probably lying.
What you mean she probably lying?
Maybe she did a mistake.
What's up, everybody? It's the Wedra family. What's up, everybody? It's been a while since I've posted a video for you guys, but don't worry because I am here today. Right, Kaya? Say hi to the Wedra family from afar.
Huh?
Say hi to the Wedra family.
Hi, Wedra family.
And just forget it. Anyways, this video is my labor and delivery story. I didn't know if I wanted to really do this video because that's kind of like an intimate situation, but I figured why not. And this video is specifically for you, Fatim. You know who you are. There's a lot of Fatims, but the Fatim that I'm talking about knows who she is. Alright, so let's get into the video. Okay, so my due date was July 7th, 2019. So I was like, I do not want to give birth until I go to the 4th of July cookout, because I've missed the last few years of the 4th of July cookout. And I didn't want to miss it this year. And usually we always do it at Liberty State Park, which is in Jersey City. So lo and behold, this year I made it. I made it to the cookout. And if you guys have ever been to that park, you will see that it's a very big park. So that day I was like, I'm going to walk and walk and walk until it's time for me to go into labor. Because once you are towards the end of your pregnancy, you just want to push the baby out. You don't want to carry a baby, a whole human inside of you anymore. So that's why I kept walking. Okay, fast forward. The next day, July 5th, went to bed. Okay, hold on. Rewind. Woke up at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then towards 11 o'clock that morning, I started feeling pain. I didn't know that they were actual contractions because I never felt real contractions. I started feeling contractions at 11, which I found out later. I didn't know they were real contractions because with my first pregnancy, I didn't get the chance to actually experience real contractions because I was induced and I had epidural early. So the pain kept coming and going. I tracked it either way just in case if it was real. So why are you looking at me like that? So the contractions were going for 2 hours. So when it hit 1 o'clock, I called my doctor and asked them if it was time for me to go to the hospital, and they said yes. So I didn't go straight to the hospital, right, Kader? Kader was even telling me that same day, make sure you take a bath because you never know when you're going to get into labor. He said that literally during the time I was having contractions. because you don't want to show up at the hospital smelly. So once my doctor, they told me I have to go to the hospital, I went and took a shower, and that's when I had the worst contraction ever in my life. I didn't know if I was up, down, left, or right. I did not know if I was up, down, left, or right. I'm in the shower crying and yelling, but nobody could hear me. The only person that would come in is Kader, but he couldn't hear me. And I really thought I was about to deliver the baby in that bathtub right in that moment. So then, the same day, Kader's cousin was supposed to travel. So, instead of going straight to the hospital, guess what we did, guys? We started taking pictures. And before even that, guess what my father said, guys? Do you want to go get some Chinese food? So, we were in the friggin' driveway taking pictures. And at that point, the contractions I wasn't having any contractions. But, whatever. So then, we went to go get some Chinese food. Everybody got their Chinese food. I was eating while we were in the car. And then, 10 minutes into the ride, I felt another contraction. That jump was, I don't know, man. I don't know how to explain that. There's no way to explain that kind of pain. That contraction, bro, is worse. I don't even know if it's worse to have a contraction while you're standing up or sitting down. Maybe sitting down is worse, because if you're in a confined space and you can't even move how you want to, I think that's worse. And mind you, the hospital I decided to go to is 30 minutes away from my parents' house. So, but that contraction was the only one I felt. So then, we got to the hospital. Me and Kader went to the emergency room, and I don't think they knew that I was pregnant from the person at the desk. So I just told them, I'm having pain in my pelvic area. When I went to go sit down, they noticed that I was pregnant. The nurse came up to me and was like, how far along are you? By that time, because that was July 5th, I was basically 39 weeks and 5 days. So I was ready to give birth. So they checked my weight, the baby's heartbeat, my heartbeat, everything was good. They brought us to this, I don't know what room that is, but that wasn't the actual delivery room because they didn't know if I was actually in labor or not. So the nurse put me on the monitor, put the baby's heartbeat on the monitor, and then they said that, okay, they had some residents. So the residents came in to check how dilated I was. Guess how many centimeters dilated I was, guys? 6 centimeters. 6 centimeters. If you guys know, you need to be 10 centimeters to give birth. So that means if I would have waited longer at home, I could have gave birth. Or I could have even gave birth inside of the bathtub without even knowing that it was time for me to give birth. So then when they found out that I was 6 centimeters, they took me to the delivery room, and that's when I started feeling more contractions. And I was like, excuse me, nurse, you're going to have to give me my epidural ASAP Rocky, because I'm not about to endure all this pain. I can't deal with it because I'm really bad with pain. So then we was in labor for I think we got into the hospital when we first got to the emergency room. It was 2 or 3 o'clock. So as time went on, nurses came in to check me. They were like, oh, you're still 6 centimeters dilated. So after a few hours passed, they were like, okay, because I was dilated, but my water didn't break. They were like, if your water doesn't break, we're going to have to rupture it. So they came back, they checked my thing, my, hoo-ha, and they couldn't tell if I was fully dilated or not, because there was a resident that was, training or whatever. So then the actual doctor was like, oh, it's because the sac is interfering with the baby's head, so they couldn't check how dilated I was. And then they said I was fully dilated. So then they left and said they're gonna wait for my water to break. It didn't break. The woman came back, the doctor. She went in there, did something, broke my water. And guess what, guys? They did all that just to find out I wasn't fully dilated. I was still 6 centimeters dilated. This is a random video. Yo, I look hit. Okay. I am currently in labor. And I've been here since 3 o'clock. It's now 9 p.m. And they told me I was fully dilated like an hour ago. They broke my water just to find out that I'm actually 7 centimeters. So, I'm still waiting. And I just can't wait to see my son. So, I'll see you guys. Time went on again. They noticed that the baby's heartbeat was decreasing. And now, that's when I started worrying. And then Kader, trying to be Mr. Macho Man, like,
don't worry about it. It's gonna be alright.
I ain't trying to hear none of that in the time that I was in. Like, that situation, no. Nobody trying to hear that. So then, they said that usually when the baby is descending, the baby's heart rate tends to decrease. So every time I would have a contraction, the baby's heart rate would decrease. Every time I had a contraction, it would decrease again. So then the doctors came back. I don't know how this happened. Do you remember that part? You remember how when they checked the baby's heart rate, when it decreased? You remember how it felt like they just left and then came back and just told me to start pushing, right? They didn't even check if I was dilated again.
They gave themselves some time. And then when the time went up and then everything wasn't getting in the better situation, that's when they be like, hey. They knew that the baby was in danger, but they didn't want to act before the meeting.
But look, they didn't check if I was dilated again after that.
No, they didn't.
Yeah. So I don't know how they did that, how that happened. So I started pushing. Now with my first child, pushing was less than 5 minutes. 5 minutes tops. And I didn't even feel out of breath. This one, I was out of breath, child. I was out of breath. I felt like I was working out in the gym, someone that's out of shape, and I just couldn't do it. But I kept pushing. I pushed probably how many minutes? Like 30 minutes? Okay.
Almost about. No, that's 25.
20 or 25 minutes pushing. I know that ain't a long time because I know some people probably go like an hour, 2 hours, or I don't know how many hours. But I was out of breath. And that's when the baby came out. Usually, when the baby is born, they automatically put the baby on the mom's chest. And before they do that, they do that, and then the father cuts the umbilical cord. My child came out. I didn't even see that there was an umbilical cord around the baby's neck. The baby came out with the umbilical cord around his neck, and I saw that he wasn't crying, so I knew something was up. And in that moment, all I could do was just freeze. I didn't want to react right away because I knew God had my back either way. But then I just froze and just kept staring at what they was doing to make the baby feel okay. So they brought the baby to the table. They resuscitated him, and then I heard the cry, and all hell broke loose. I was just crying because, it was sucked. Like, I don't know how. I can't even imagine holding a child for 9 months, and you're expecting that child, and you wanted that child so bad just for the baby to not make it. So I thank God, thank you God for letting my little beautiful baby boy be alright. So after that, they brought him to, I don't even remember what it's called, something resuscitation. They brought him there for like 3 hours just to make sure that he was okay and that his heart rate and everything was good. And everything was good. And then, yeah, we lived happily ever after. Now that baby boy, he's a month old now. And he's just my pride and joy. I'm happy that I have a boy and a girl. Whew, first 2 tries. I'm an OG. Tell me about it. Anyways, guys, that was my little, labor and delivery story. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you did not enjoy it, give it a thumbs down, or don't even give it a thumbs down. Just don't even watch the video. Don't even click on my videos again. And I'll see you guys in another video, hopefully soon. You never know when it can be.